In a quaint little town, a man named Paul and his wife, Emma, had finally achieved their lifelong dream. They bought a house. It wasn't just any house, but a beautiful Victorian-style home surrounded by a vast, dense forest, far from the hustle and bustle of the city they'd grown accustomed to. The estate agent had warned them about the strange local tales that enveloped the place, stories of people disappearing in the woods after dark, but they dismissed it as rural superstition. In the beginning, everything was as they had imagined, peaceful, serene, and incredibly beautiful, especially when the sun set behind the forest, casting long ethereal shadows. They spent their days fixing up their home and exploring the edge of the woods, always careful to return before dusk. However, as days turned into weeks, they began to notice the strange phenomena. At night, they could hear an odd chorus of whispers, faint but discernible, seemingly coming from the heart of the woods. They brushed it off as the sound of the wind rustling through the leaves, but deep down, a sense of unease began to grow. One night, their dog, Max, ventured into the forest, lured by some unseen force. Paul, worried about Max, decided to brave the darkness to retrieve him. Emma pleaded with him to wait until morning, but Paul insisted, promising to return quickly. He walked into the woods, armed only with a flashlight and the thin hope of finding Max. Hours passed, and Paul did not return. Emma grew frantic, calling out to him from the edge of the woods, but the only response was the ever-present whispering, now seeming to grow louder and more insistent. As dawn broke, Emma, filled with a dreadful certainty, called the local police. They searched the woods for days but found no trace of Paul or Max. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. Emma was heartbroken, but she couldn't leave the house. It was their dream, after all. She stayed, hoping that Paul would return, but he never did. The whispering continued every night, now louder than ever, as if the woods were calling out to her. One fateful night, in a fit of despair and longing, Emma decided to follow the whispers, hoping they would lead her to Paul. She walked into the woods, her heart pounding in her chest. The whispers grew louder, almost deafening, but she pressed on, drawn by the eerie voices. Just like Paul, Emma never returned. The house stood empty, a haunting reminder of the couple who had once dreamt of a peaceful life there. The locals say that on quiet nights, if you listen closely, you can still hear the whispers from the woods, a chilling symphony of voices that were once human, now part of the forest's eerie nocturnal chorus. And they warn you, if you ever find yourself near those woods after dark, to never follow the whispers, for you might never return.